Mathsercise paper, you will get a number of questions that ask about distances. If you look at this little map, I've got a road, and along that road I have 3 towns: Staines, Woking and Guildford. If we look at the distances marked along the top, from Staines to Woking is 12 kilometres, and from Woking to Guildford is 18 kilometres. We could be asked a question such as, how far is it from Staines to Guildford? And the simple answer is it's all the way along this road, so it will be this distance plus this distance. A simple addition sum. So let's do that. 12, and I'm going to use column addition, plus 18. 8 add 2 is 10, so 1 underneath, and then add the 10s up, 1, 2, 3. The distance is measured in kilometres, so when we write our answer, make sure you write the kilometres in. Sometimes the paper will have the kilometres written in for you. Here's another question about distances. This time I have a circular route. It goes round in a ring. Again, I have 3 towns: Kings Lynn, Wisbech and Peterborough. From Peterborough to Kings Lynn is 75 kilometres. From Kings Lynn to Wisbech is 68 kilometres. And from Wisbech to Peterborough is 14 kilometres. So you could get a question such as, how far is it from Kings Lynn to Peterborough? If I travel via Wisbech. Now if the question says via, that means I will have to pass through Wisbech to get to Peterborough, because otherwise it would just be 75 kilometres. So if I go from Kings Lynn via Wisbech to Peterborough, I will go 68 kilometres to Wisbech and then 14 to Peterborough. So again, we're going to add this distance and this distance. Let's do that using column addition. 8 add 4 is 12. 2 can go in straight away and 1 needs to be added into the tens. 6, 7, 8. 82 kilometres. And here I have a diagram that is a journey that ends at a place called Ealing Broadway. This time the diagram doesn't have any distances on it, but in the question we hear that it is 12 kilometres from Perryvale to Northfields. So I'm going to write that in, 12 kilometres from Perryvale to Northfields. It is 8 kilometres from Northfields to North Acton, so let's write it in. And it is 14 kilometres from North Acton to Ealing Broadway. So just because there were no distances on doesn't make this question any harder. I've just written the distances on as I'm reading the instructions. And then the question is, how far is it from Perryvale to North Acton? So if we look, from Perryvale I will have to go 12 kilometres to get to Northfields and then 8 kilometres to get to North Acton. So just be careful, just because it goes all the way to Ealing Broadway doesn't mean that that's the distance they want to know. They've asked me how far is it to North Acton. So I need this one, and this is a really easy thing. So 8 plus 2 is 10, and 1 and 1 is 2. 20 kilometres. Okay, let's have some top tips for answering the distance map type questions. Number 1, look at the diagram really carefully before you start to answer the questions. Make sure you understand it before you try and answer anything. Number 2, write in any distances if you need to. So if the distances aren't marked on the diagram but they're given in the question, as you're reading the question, write the distances in, because that will make it easier for you to understand the question. And number 3, make sure you answer the question. If it wants a distance from Acton to Ealing Broadway, then that's the distance you must find. The fact that the journey might continue to somewhere else is irrelevant. Make sure you answer the question. Good, I think you're ready to tackle the questions with marked number 1.